myself included, IJ included, if I can speak for him, end up in a place on Yuntif where it's like, where should I be? Should I be with my family? Should I go to friends? Should I go to a program? And people end up in this no man place, no man zone, where they don't feel like they're included in anything, and they don't have something for themselves. So all they can think about is what they want, what they need, what they're looking for, what they're missing. You know, if you have a negative, pessimistic viewpoint of it. But certain holidays are easier than others, like you were saying before. Certain Yom Tovim are easier to deal with than others. And for me, Simchas Torah, which we just ended, was very easy to deal with for whatever reason. I think for me, personally, Simchas Torah was easy to deal with because at this point in time, people are sick of their wives, of their children, the Chol Hamoed trips, Adventureland, this land, that land. What do you do? I'm not looking at the... No, I don't do that. I speak to people when I talk.
And also, you had to pick the one that I was going to say is the most challenging. Anyway, go on.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's challenging. I think it's actually...
It's
it was a big boon to me to be single. Everybody came up to me. Oh my God, you look so happy. You look so... What do you do? I'm like, well, look at me. Do I have a child on my leg? Do I have a wife in my ear? No, I don't.
I totally noticed that.
That's
by the way. I noticed, like, these families were like sick and tired of like the husband and the kids and the wife. I never seen so many like young kids. I don't know, 5, 10, just running around by themselves on the street.
Oh my gosh!
I'm literally walking. I don't know. I walked probably like a mile and a half. You know, I walked everywhere over Yuntif and. Yeah, they're all over. They're like, everywhere. They're just like, get out of here.
Get out.
Sick of you. That's
go.
pretty funny.
I don't care if there's a creepy guy with a white van walking on the streets. Doesn't matter. Yeah, well, do your thing. They don't care. They don't care. So Simchas Torah was very easy. Sukkot was tough.
Yep.
Because there's that new found freshness of Yumtif, of family getting together. It was a little tougher, Sukkot. You know, it was a little tougher to be.
Oh, so you thought Sukkot was more tough?
For me, yes. Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of plans that go on Sukkot. I think that, well, first of all, I really like what you said before about the Chagim, that it's a time that you kind of retrospecting and you're alone. There's no TV. There's no sports. It's literally just, you and your Yiddishkeit and the community.
Yeah.
Some people have such a big family, and there they are. They're in the house, and they can get away with it. They can literally just be with their family. I know a girl, I'm thinking of her right now, like, she doesn't probably leave the house, even for Simchas Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Even for Rush, probably just goes for Yom Kippur, and, like, she can just escape the whole Yuntif in her house. But at the same time, I could see her thinking, like, some sibling's going to make a comment, she's single, this and that. So sometimes, like, community, family, kind of similar in those senses. If you have both, then it's even more tough. Or it could be more rewarding, it could be more rewarding. It's nice to go home, too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember before my community collapsed, I know, where's the violin? Whatever. Before my community, my old community where I'm from, outside town far away where people haven't really heard of anyone, Pelham Parkway, New York. I love going back. Going back was awesome. The cheerleaders, like the old men in the behind the bima, the cheerleaders, and the old ladies, and everyone loved seeing me. It was such a nice experience. But then, you get older, you move to different areas, and it comes different. You kind of hit that age where everyone's just looking at you, and they're like, no, when are you getting married?
So what are ways to alleviate? What do you do to alleviate that potential stressor of Yom Tov coming up?
Honestly, I'll tell you what I did. It kind of changed. Like when I went to college, your answer directly is I changed shuls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a shul jumper. I have my shul. I pay the dues. The rabbi's on the resume. It's all good. But I jump shuls. I went to an amazing shul this Yom Tov that just passed, and nobody knew me. It was it was a pretty spitzy shul. I'd say like semi. What was that word you used? Semi awkward, semi off. It was a semi.
It was semi-off.
It was a semi off shul,
Right.
and I didn't know anyone.
Yeah, it was all
They
the
had a
people.
great kiddush.
People who
They had just
misfits
enough-
from other shul.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
misfits. Yeah.
Everybody there has left the shul once or twice to go to this one.
Exactly, like because I reside many shuls in protest.
Nobody talks, nobody talks, nobody talks Shidduchim.
This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.